A nation is known by its people. Throughout this world, America is known because of the diverse group we call Americans. They're black and white, and every color in between. Men, women, young, old, all share dedication to the American dream, and to the idea that we all share equally in the task of building and strengthening our democracy through good citizenship. But what does it mean to be a good citizen today? What do you owe to your fellow man and to your government? In the next few minutes, we're going to answer that question. Obey these rules instead of following your heart or your head. Why? Because we're the government, and you're not. Tom is a businessman who employs 12 people in his small restaurant. He started with nothing and has made himself a wealthy man through hard work and long hours. He knows that it's his work and the hard work of millions like him that creates wealth and provides jobs for an entire nation. But at this moment, he's wondering whether it's all worth it. As the tax audit goes on, Tom's patriotic desire to help the economy and provide jobs for working Americans starts to fade. He experiences strange emotions of fear and greed, wanting to keep his money all for himself. Finally, in desperation, his greed reveals itself through latent homicidal tendencies. But what Tom doesn't understand is that everything depends on wealthy people paying their taxes. Where would we be without their money? Tobacco farmers wouldn't get the subsidies that allow them to provide high-quality cigarettes to the world. Disadvantaged young mothers wouldn't be able to have food stamps that let them obtain the necessities of life. Scientists couldn't do highly important research on methane gas from cows. And other countries wouldn't get the foreign aid that helps them trade with us and learn our democratic ways. So when Tom wishes he could keep more of what he produces for himself, he's just being selfish and short-sighted. Yes, since Tom is a very productive citizen, he owes everything to us. So Tom and others like him should be thankful that the tax man doesn't take it all. So lesson number 1 is, pay your taxes and be thankful that we let you keep any of your money. Next, we turn our attention to Mary. She has a great entry-level job at a bank, and she was taught to be responsible with her money. She's a very frugal person and never spends money when she doesn't have to. By careful shopping, Mary doesn't spend money on expensive furniture. Mary lives in a modest home in the basement of an old apartment building, but she has a keen sense of style within the confines of her meager budget. She isn't the sort of frivolous person who spends lots of money for gourmet food. She saves every penny she can by eating thrifty meals. Mary is also careful to conserve her resources. For instance, she hasn't had to buy new napkins or paper towels for months. But as Mary looks at the economy, she's troubled and she wonders what she can do to make a difference so that everyone can live a better life. But what Mary doesn't know is that today's modern economy is built on credit and spending, not on thrift and savings. Responsible people know that they should be borrowing and spending all that they can. Even things that were considered frivolous spending in the past are now understood to be powerful generators of wealth for certain people. Take gambling, for instance. What better way to have fun and pump money back into the economy than to blow a few $100s of your savings on a state lottery or at a casino? And what about that big screen plasma TV you've always wanted? No cash? No problem. Just say, charge it, and take it home to your family. You see, debt is good for the economy. When you borrow money, you pay large interest payments. This props up bank profits and makes everyone feel good. So buy that impressive house, fill it with expensive furniture that you can't pay for, and keep those credit cards maxed out all the time. In addition to keeping corporate profits high, you also help spend trillions of dollars for products made in other countries, which makes foreign governments happy and makes state dinners at the White House more festive for everyone. Also, remember that by spending money on expensive things you can't afford, you encourage your neighbors to do the same thing, and you teach your children that outspending others is the key to happiness. Mary's learned her lesson. Her credit card is her friend, and she's boosting the economy while she lives a better life. So, lesson number 2 is, spend all the money you can. Don't be greedy and save it for yourself. In every group, there are a few bad apples who want to make life difficult for everyone, and that's true even among Americans. There are some people who are just naturally rebels and troublemakers. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. These are the people who ask the questions that don't need to be asked.
Why aren't other political parties allowed on the ballot? Why do Democrats and Republicans get to make up rules to keep other parties off?
As we all know, our two-party system is a cornerstone of the Constitution. Allowing different ideas on the ballot would just confuse everyone. Imagine where that confusion might lead. We could end up with something dangerous like libertarians in Congress, and you know what that would mean.
Why does our government spend so much time and money telling other countries what to do? Doesn't it just make them hate us and cause problems down the road?
As the world's one remaining superpower, the United States has a sacred duty to tell other countries what to do. One of the fundamental responsibilities of a superpower is to bully other countries and create conflicts which then require us to solve. This is especially popular among broadcast media, who see their ratings go up during times of world crisis, as viewers tune in to see bodies being blown up on live TV.
Why do they spend billions of dollars to try to stop illegal drugs when the same tactics didn't work with alcohol prohibition?
Yeah, and why does the government even pay farmers to produce another dangerous drug, tobacco?
Some people just don't understand politics. You see, it is younger people who abuse certain drugs, so they are illegal. But because older people vote and hold their legislators accountable, the drugs they abuse are legal. It's really the only fair way. As you can see, these troubled youth are asking questions which are bad for public morale and clearly indicate that they favor criminal activity. There's really only one place that's appropriate for people who ask questions like these. Why? Because we're the government, and you're not. So, lesson number 3 is, don't cause trouble by asking embarrassing questions or by not supporting your government. So now you know how to be the kind of citizen your government wants and needs. Pay your taxes without complaint. Spend all you can in order to help the economy. And don't ask questions that don't need to be asked. If you follow these simple rules, you'll be a good, patriotic American citizen. This is Jenkins and Propaganda. I can't take your call, so leave me a message.
Yeah, this is Bill House at the IRS. We've reviewed the video that you sent over, and we really think you need to make the tax guy seem nicer during the audit. You know, more talk about voluntary compliance and all that garbage. Make him look like somebody's nice uncle or something. It makes us look like we're not so nasty, okay?
This is Barry Sands of the DEA. We just got a copy of that thing about how to be a good citizen, and this thing has got to be changed. There's nothing in here about the evils of drugs and how using drugs is the same as supporting terrorists. Now, you know the routine. We've got to make changes to this ASAP, so call me and let's get together on it. I won't be in the office this afternoon, though, because I'll be at driving school so I can get out of that DUI I got last month. But call me, all right?